It's Artifacts Big Rags. Well, I just run one out. It was laying back here. I have the wind in my favor, but it's loud when you walk through this stuff. I mean, just a little bit of noise didn't spook him. He might have seen me too. I don't know, but I'm almost for certain he heard me. But look at this buck rub. That's fresh. That's not as good as the other one I saw there the other day, where it snapped a tree like that in half. That's, you know, this is my property, so at least we know they're in here. They're hitting it. They sure are. They're hitting this. Alright, I'm going to get back at it. See ya. Hey everybody. This is a mock scrape setup that I have. And occasionally I'll put apples out right here. And well, they're all gone. You know, they're ate up. But you can see that, you know, I've hung some scent strips here. So, you know, it helps lure them into this area. You can see where they've been coming through right here. That's like a new trail. They're coming up out of the bottom. I'm gonna go look. I'm gonna look at this. But that's not why I turned this on. You know, I made this mock scrape. This is my making. They didn't make this. So I put scents out. I'll put food out. And obviously they're coming in here and hitting this. But look what I just found. So it's rained. And this is a piece of white flint ridge. Look at this. Now, my home is that direction. And beyond the house, clear up on this hill, is where my dig is, where I'm finding all these flake knives, right along the road where I'm going to put a driveway in for a new build in the upcoming years. But this here, you know, wow, this is every bit of 500, 600 yards away. And, well, there's two springs, and these are ancient springs, and they've actually cut this valley out. And there's always running water down through this valley right here, and we're right on the lip of this. And these two springs are over here. This farm, it's up here. When you go into the drive, there's flint all over the ground. And then when you go on the other side, and there's these fields that run east to west, right on just west of the spring, on the high ground, nothing but white flint ridge and pink and just beautiful reds and just it's an Ashtabula. I find Ashtabula, Bruton, bifurcated points there. It's trust me, it's one of my honey holes, and it's not been plowed up in a couple of years. But I've always known that if I came here on the lip of this ridge above this spring, on this part of the property, this is probably better than up on top of the hill, because it's closer to the water source here. And I know what's across the street, because I found countless points and drill bits, and just, I'm talking some smokers out of that other side of the road here. But I've never dug down here, and here it is. I just kick around some leaves and make a mock scrape. It rains, and there's a piece of flint ridge. So now I know this is Indian. I could dig anywhere in here, anywhere. I own all this. I own it all. So, boy, oh boy, for years to come, I don't have to go nowhere to find Indian artifacts. I find them right here on my own property that I pay taxes on, that I own. See ya. Well, I tell you what, you know, we're getting in the late part of October here, and look at this buck rub. I mean, he snapped this tree, and this is high off the ground too. I mean, he was making marks clear up into here. You know, That deer was making rubs. That deer was making, you know, he was having an effect on the tree almost 5 feet up. This here's a good one. He's a good one. He just annihilated this sucker. He broke it in half. Right there's my tree stand. Wow. Wow, look at this trail. They've started, they're running now. They're just tearing through here. Look at that. Oh man, I can't wait. Alright, be back at you. See ya. There is a stinking crazy gray squirrel up there. He's nuts. They're all over the place in here. This is my deer hunt woods. I don't squirrel hunt this, but you know, you can limit out. You can limit out and squirrel in probably an hour. In here, it's just loaded. They're just all over the place. There's a lot of hickory in here. A lot of hickory. And that's what they're doing. They're up in these trees here, and they're dropping nuts out of trees. I watched them. They actually use their hands and throw them nuts to the ground. And then they cut them. You can hear them cutting. Zit, 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 zit. Working on them nuts, cutting limbs, and building nests. All right, everybody, back at you. See ya. They're back over in here. They went back into here. I don't know if you could hear that, but stinking Amish buggy going down the road, making all kinds of noise. There's a gravel road behind me. Probably 250 yards. And making all kinds of noise. Amish buggy. I mean, if it had been a car going down there, they'd have paid no attention to it. Amish buggy going slow and making all that noise. Spooked them. Alright, it's still early, so we'll see what happens. See ya. You hear that? It's an Amish buggy. Now, we used to have, we've had Amish live close to us all of our lives. At least I have, because I've lived in the country my whole life. And last night, one of them buggies, if you could hear that, come down the road and scared off my deer last night. It spooked them out. It sure did. And I think what they were doing right there, they were looking up here and trying to figure out what I was up here against these bales. Look at them take off now. Yeah. I live 25 minutes from any town. 25 full minutes driving 60 miles an hour. 25 minutes from anywhere. But yeah, one of his fellow Amishmen messed up my deer hunt last night. But I'll let you in on how that went. I seen one big one, a loner, pop out by these oil tanks. And look at the Amish traffic. Here comes another one. See what I mean? I truly live out in the sticks. But yeah, it's not a car. That's an Amish buggy. But yeah, I saw one big one pop out, nearly 300 to 400 yards away, and then I had that group of 4 come in. That I've shown you in some footage, and then right at dark, behind my left shoulder, up towards the road where that Amish was last night, I ran my deer off up towards that gravel road. I had 5 pop out. I mean, that when they came out, they were, I didn't see them coming through the woods. It was almost pitch black, so it was dark inside the woods. But once they started popping out to the open field, yeah, I could see them. And there was at least one basket rack, 6 or 8 point with them. It was 4 does and a buck, and he was running them all around. And he was chasing them does in circles essentially, and well, he got them all worked up, and they ran into the woods. And I thought, well, they're going to go into the woods and run down this fence row, which has happened many a time to me. But it didn't happen. It didn't happen last night. They went into the woods, and that was it. I never heard or seen them again. So in total, yesterday I saw 10 in the evening. I got skunked in the morning, straight up skunked. I didn't see nothing. Everything was to my advantage too. But that's how it goes sometimes in deer hunting. You can do everything in the world to make everything right. Take all the precautions, fundamentally have a sound approach and a good game plan, and nothing. That's why it's so challenging. All right, be back at you. See ya. Well, back-to-back mornings skunked. But, so I cut across here and came up on my property, and I'm 40 yards from my artifact dig that I do up on top of my hill. Look at that buck rub. That's a fresh one. You know, he could be right over in here right now, just laying. I have the wind blowing in my face. A lot of times these big bucks, unless you go in there and basically step on them, they won't move. They'll lay tight. But you know, he could be living in any of this. And on the other side here, my neighbors, I mean, it's the same thing. Nothing but bedding areas. Right now, oh boy, check that out. Yeah, but doe. They're in here hitting her. They hit this pretty good. Well, I go from seeing 10 last night to nothing this morning. That's how the cookie crumbles. All right, everybody, back at you. See you. Everybody. I'm not in a too good of a mood today. Do you hear that noise in the background? Well, they're running corn pickers today. They're trying to get their crops in before this rain comes, and I got run out of my spot. I got skunked back-to-back mornings, so I'm not in a good mood, but you know, I promised everybody that I will keep this always real and honest. So there you go. To my own detriment. Yeah, skunk back-to-back mornings. I ain't happy about it. But before I went into the house here, this is a pile of flint that I have in my drive. Now this is all locally sourced material here. As you can see, some of it actually has on the outside of it, like with this black Coshocton right here, you can see the limestone on the outside of it. You know, look at that right there. When it's just, some of this is some great stuff. And you can see that there's some of this has actually been worked upon. You know, it's been like this right here. As you can see, there's clearly been human activity on this piece. It's a big piece of Nelly Gray. I've got stuff that I find here that's, you know, look at this Flint Ridge. You know, I find this in my neighborhood. I have a mix because of my geographical location. The geology here is very unique indeed, because I have a good mix of Flint Ridge and, you know, black Upper Mercer. You know, Nelly Gray isn't just in Nelly, people. Trust me. You know, I know where there's some quarries that are real close to my location here, and that's all that's there is nothing but Nelly Gray. You know, that's all that's on the site. Look at this stuff right here. It's almost like creamy. It's got some creamy stuff in it. It's just beautiful looking material. But to get to the chase of it here, this was intended to go to the Flint Ridge Nap-In. All this. And this isn't all that I've got, right? I'm artifacts and big racks. And this isn't all the flint I have laying around. But I didn't go. There's a lot of phonies out there right now floating around. And it's people napping out, modern fakes doing it. So, you know, there's a word, it's called integrity. Or integrity, whatever you want to call it these days. Well, I've got it. That's about all I do have, right, is integrity. I've got a lot of that. And I just started thinking about it. You know, yes, these guys would like to have that, and I can make $1 or $2 on it. But what are they going to do with this raw material? You know, rip people off, rip good people, hard-working people off of their money, selling phonies with my stuff, my material that I find. So I'm going to hold on to it. I'll just keep collecting it, and one day I'll find a guy who's responsible and that I could trust. I know there's a guy that lives on Flint Ridge. He's a good one. He's responsible. And but you know, he lives on Flint Ridge. Why would he want to buy my flint, right? But look at that stuff. Just beautiful. I've got some great stuff here in mass. And all around my house, you know, I mean, as far as this goes, all around my home is nothing but flint, all the way around the house and the flower gardens or the rock gardens, whatever you want to call them. Every home that I have owned, if I lived there, it's the same, you know, I left nothing but rocks and flint everywhere. And I give away, I pick up so much of this stuff. You know, if I give it away, I've given away buckets of it to friends. Just be nice, to be like, you know. And trust me, you know, back in the day when my sons were hunting, when they were younger, they were putting artifacts in them buckets. You know no better, and I would look through it, or maybe I wouldn't. It's just so much of this has been going on for so long, it's, you know, stuff does slip through the cracks. But I just wanted to show you that. Yeah, so that's some of the material I have here. I am not a flint knapper. I don't buy artifacts. Everything I have in my collection was found by myself. If I've shown pieces on this channel and you've seen them, those are all 100% mine that I've found. So, you know, there might, you know, I think I made a video one time where I think it was called a rock and roll arrowhead show or something like that, and some of the points in there were my sons, because they have found some good ones too. But yeah, there you go, everybody. Hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for watching. I'm going to keep her up. Hopefully I'll get a big buck this year. I seen a dandy the other day. For people that are watching who are not subscribed, hey, subscribe. You know, this is nothing unusual or out of the ordinary for me. This is how I live my life. I'm pushing 50. I've raised my family. They all have their own homes and successful lives, and this is what I like. This is what I like to do with my spare time. Thanks, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well and safe. See ya.